This is my recreation of the ZX Spectrum expansion system. The original expansion system from 1984 consisted of a microdrive and an interface 1 to connect it to the Spectrum. Microdrives are still around, but they haven't stood the test of time too well. The cartridges weren't too reliable back in the day, and 40 years later their felt pads tend to perish and they're quite difficult to keep working reliably. We have SD card based hardware emulations of the microdrive and those work well, but the emulation is of the tape drive only, which means you still need an interface 1 to connect it to the Spectrum. The interface 1's becoming quite rare and expensive, and most people don't have one, so I've recreated the technology using modern components. So here's the device connected to my Issue 2 Spectrum. It's an emulator of up to 8 microdrives, and it doesn't require an interface 1. The design goal of this recreation was complete compatibility with the original. No hacks, no bodges, no changes to the ROMs, no limitations. Before I demonstrate the device, here's a close-up of the user interface. The device uses cartridge image files in MDR format, which is the open and well-documented microdrive cartridge format supported by most Spectrum emulators. There's an SD card mounted in the device, and the MDR files on that card are presented on the screen. So to insert a cartridge, as it were, the user selects the microdrive they want from 1 to 8, then chooses the MDR file to insert. Press the button, it's loaded immediately. In order to eject a cartridge, the user selects the microdrive, presses the button, and confirms the eject. That's exactly the same as pulling a cartridge out of a microdrive. The original expansion system came with some demonstration cartridges. This is the first one. It uses the auto run to load, so I can just do a new and a run. Yeah, wasn't too exciting back in 1984 either. Let's try something a bit more interesting. This is Manic Miner. I appreciate you can't really see what's on the screen, but so I'll type load star m Manic Miner. Go. Let me show you a format. I'll choose a blank cartridge image. I default my cartridges to the maximum supported size of 254 sectors, so my MDR cartridge images come out at about 135K instead of about 85K. The message flashing up on the small screen is saying the MDR image data is being saved back to the SD card. You can't see it, but it says 135K. One of the other cartridges which came with the original expansion system was the business cartridge. It came with a copy of TazWord 2. Let's see if we can find that. There you go. It auto runs. I'll make a small file and change it. One of the things I noticed was that the microdrive number in the TazWord 2 code is actually hard-coded to drive 1, so you can't have TazWord on microdrive 1 and your data files on microdrive 2, at least not without changing it. Fortunately, it's written in BASIC, so you could make that modification if you wanted to. Just a little flicker of the border there just to show that it did actually save it. So that's my recreation of the ZX Spectrum expansion system. It's an open source project, open hardware design. If you want one, you can make yourself one. The link to the GitHub project is in the description. How it works and the engineering behind it is covered on my website. That's also linked in the description.